single day.
Another lawsuit against Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell, for improper jail medical care, which killed Stephanie Marie Miller, for a victimless crime. When will the illegal military police state that is policing for profit end? And when will Bill go to prison for his crimes against the people? Case 8:21 CV00315 WFJJSS Document 1 filed February 9, 21 page 1 of 94 page ID 1. United States District Court. Middle District of Florida. Tampa Division. Drew Dadeno, as personal representative on behalf of the estate of Stephanie Marie Miller. Plaintiff. V. Case No. Thomas Knight as former sheriff of Sarasota County, William Prummell as sheriff of Charlotte County. Complaint and demand for jury trial. Now comes, plaintiff, Drew Dadeno, as personal representative on behalf of the estate of Stephanie Marie Miller, by and through the undersigned counsel, and hereby sues defendants, Thomas Knight as former sheriff of Sarasota County, William Prummell as sheriff of Charlotte County. Preliminary statement. 1. This is a civil rights action for damages in which the plaintiff seeks relief on behalf of the estate of the above-named deceased, Stephanie Marie Miller, hereinafter as Ms. Miller or the decedent, for violations of her rights secured by Title 42, Section 1983 of the United States Code, U.S.C., the 14th. Defendants: Charlotte County Sheriff, Sheriff William Prummell, hereinafter Sheriff Prummell, and Corizon Health Incorporated, hereinafter Corizon, implemented and or had in place at all times relevant policies and customs that violated and or that were applied in such a way that they violated the constitutional rights of pretrial detainees and the Charlotte County Jail, including the decedent, to prompt and adequate health care to treat serious and obvious medical needs. 7. This action is brought, in part, under Title 42 U.S.C. 1983 and under the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution and pursuant to the general laws of the United States and the laws of the state of Florida. Case 8:21 CV00315 WFJJSS Document 1 filed February 9, 21 page 4 of 94 page ID 4. 5. 8. Plaintiff alleges that the conduct of each defendant deprived the decedent of her constitutional right to life, and to medical health care for her serious health condition, and needs, and caused Ms. Miller to suffer grievous physical and mental pain, suffering, anxiety, and harm while detained in the Sarasota and Charlotte County jails and under the direct and continuous custody, control, supervision, and care of the defendants. 9. Each of the defendants caused and is responsible for the unlawful conduct and resulting harm by, inter alia, personally participating in the conduct, or acting jointly and in concert with others who did so, by authorizing, acquiescing, or failing or refusing, with deliberate indifference to, and reckless disregard for, the decedent's clearly established and known rights, to initiate and maintain adequate training, supervision, and staffing, by failing to maintain proper and adequate policies, procedures, and protocols, customs and practices, and by ratifying the unlawful conduct performed by agents and officers, medical providers, personnel, independent contractors, and employees under their direction, supervision, and control. 10. Plaintiff seeks monetary damages, as well as an award of costs and reasonable attorney's fees, and all such other relief as the court deems appropriate. First claim for relief. Violation of Miller's rights under 8th and 14th Amendment. For deliberate indifference to serious medical need. Against defendant Sheriff Knight in his official capacity, and defendants Armour, and Armour's healthcare personnel defendants. Second claim for relief. Violation of Miller's rights under 8th and 14th Amendment. For deliberate indifference to serious medical need. Against Defendant Sheriff Prummell in his official capacity, and defendants. Corizon, and Corizon's healthcare personnel defendants. Third claim for relief. Monell claim for custom, policy, or practice of failing to provide necessary and prescribed medication and treatment. Against defendants Sheriff Knight in his official capacity and armor. Fourth claim for relief. Monell claim for custom, policy, or practice of failing to provide necessary and prescribed medication and treatment. Against defendant Sheriff Prummell in his official capacity and Corizon. Fifth claim for relief. Medical negligence under Florida statutes, Chapter 766. Against Armor and Armor's healthcare personnel defendants. Sixth claim for relief. Medical negligence under Florida statutes, Chapter 766. Against Corizon and Corizon's healthcare personnel defendants. Seventh claim for relief. Negligent hiring, retention, and supervision. Against Sheriff Knight in his official capacity. Eighth claim for relief. Negligent hiring, retention, and supervision. Against Sheriff Prummell in his official capacity. Ninth claim for relief. Negligent hiring, retention, and supervision. Against Armor. 10th claim for relief. Negligent hiring, retention, and supervision. Against Corizon. 11th claim for relief. Violation of Florida Statute 415.1111 for the neglect, abuse, and exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Against defendant Sheriff Knight in his official capacity, and defendants. Armor and Armor's healthcare personnel. 12th claim for relief. Violation of Florida Statute 415.1111 for the neglect, abuse, and exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Against defendants Sheriff Prummell in his official capacity, and defendants Corizon, and Corizon's healthcare personnel. Prayer for relief. 194 Wherefore, the plaintiff, Drew Dadino, in his capacity as personal representative of the estate of Ms. Miller, prays for judgment against defendants. A. That process, issue, and service be had on each defendant. B. Compensatory damages pursuant to the Florida Wrongful Death Act. 768.16-768.26, for any and all actionable conduct which was a substantial contributing factor to Ms. Miller's wrongful death. Case 8:21 CV00315 WFJJSS Document 1 filed February 9, 21 page 92 of 94 page ID 92. 93. C. In the alternative, compensatory damages pursuant to Florida Survival Action Statute 46.021, for any and all actionable conduct which caused injury but was not substantial contributing factors to her death. D. Compensatory damages, costs, and attorney's fees, pursuant to FLA Stat. 415.1111. E. Punitive damages in an amount that will serve to adequately punish and deter the conduct at issue. F. Compensatory damages for violations of 42 U.S.C. 1983. G. Costs of suit pursuant to 42 U.S.C. 1988. H. Award plaintiff reasonable attorney's fees under 42 U.S.C. 1988. B. I. That plaintiff receives special damages in an amount of at least $75,000, to include all related expenses and costs. J. That plaintiff receives such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper, and K. Demands a jury trial. Certificate of Good Faith. Case 8:21 CV00315 WFJJSS Document 1 filed February 9, 21 page 93 of 94 page ID 93. 94. 195 Pursuant to Florida Statutes 766 and 768, the undersigned hereby certify that a reasonable investigation has been undertaken and that it gives rise to a good faith belief that grounds exist for a cause of action against the defendants. Respectfully submitted this 9th day of February 2021. By /S/Jacob S. Slotin. Slotin Law, PLLC. As co-counsel for plaintiff. 800 North Belcher Road, Clearwater, Florida 33765. P. 904-710-9901. F. 800-317-1631. E. Jake.filings@gmail.com. Jacob S. Slotin, ESQ. Florida Bar No 011-9965. N. By /S/Dallas LEPAIR. NDH, LLC. As co-counsel for plaintiff. 44 Broad Street Northwest Suite 200. Atlanta, Georgia 30303. P. 404-254-0442. F. 703-935-2453. E. dlepair@ndh-law.com. Dallas SLEPAIR, ESQ. Florida Bar number 101,126. Did Stephanie have to die? Getting sicker in Charlotte jail with meds locked up, no one would help, mom says. By Elaine Allen, Emmerich Community News Editor, July 13, 2019, updated August 17, 2020. Editor's note: this is part of the Sun's continuing coverage of medical treatment provided at the Charlotte County Jail. To see other related stories, visit yoursun.com. Punta Gorda. After 17 days without heart medication in the Charlotte County Jail, Stephanie Miller was released from custody. 1 week later, she was hospitalized, getting treatment for sepsis and endocarditis. The 38-year-old mother of 4 died 3 days after that. Now, Stephanie's mother Debbie Miller and family members want answers from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. I tried everything to get her those pills, Debbie Miller said. I repeatedly called the jail, Stephanie's public defender and the judge's office. Stephanie's medication was locked in the evidence room. They just refused to give it to her. Every day she got worse, but no one would help, Miller said. Stephanie's birthday was May 31st. Instead of her being with her family, she's gone. She was locked up over possession of no more than 20 grams of marijuana. She was no angel, but I certainly don't think she should be dead over it. Miller said if the Charlotte County Jail staff or the sheriff simply reviewed Stephanie's recent medical history, they would have learned how sick she was while in custody. I have 4,000 pages of medical records clearly showing she had a bad heart and was in the hospital for several months before she was arrested, Miller said. Stephanie misses court. Court records show Stephanie Miller was originally arrested in September of 2017 and charged with 2 misdemeanors: possession of paraphernalia and possession of marijuana less than 20 ounces. Her court date was April 6, 2018. However, on March 5, 2018, Miller suffered heart-related illnesses and was hospitalized while out on bond. A doctor's note was sent to the judge and bond company on March 12. Despite the doctor's notes, Charlotte County Judge John Burns issued a bench warrant on April 20 for Miller. Another doctor's order was sent to the court on April 11, stating, "The patient is currently in Fawcett Memorial Hospital since March 5, 18 and will remain in the hospital until further notice." On May 1, Miller was cleared to go home. Charlotte County Sheriff's Detective Billy Tuck arrested Miller in the parking lot of Fawcett Memorial Hospital and took her to Charlotte County Jail, according to court documents. The next morning, at her first appearance before a judge, she received a June 8 court date and was released. Hospitalized again. Just 12 days later, Miller suffered internal bleeding and was readmitted to Fawcett Hospital on May 13. While in the hospital, she underwent neck surgery on June 29. Twice Miller was comatose, her mother said. Due to her hospitalization, Miller missed her June 8 court date. On July 16, a warrant was issued to arrest her for failing to appear for 2 court appearances. Miller was released from the hospital on August 15 with a metal neck halo supporting her head. Sick again, Stephanie suffered blood clots, shortness of breath and other heart-related issues. She was admitted to Sarasota Memorial Hospital on August 27. She was released with a neck brace October 29. She was instructed to wear it to help with her condition. Sarasota Co Jail. While visiting a relative in Northport, Stephanie was arrested on November 10, 2018 by a Northport police officer on the Charlotte County warrant. She was taken to the Sarasota County Jail and held for the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Because she was wearing a neck brace and explained she had recently had surgery, the Sarasota County Jail Medical Unit, under the direction of Armour Correctional Health Services, followed its policy. They ordered Stephanie's medical records. She was taken to Sarasota Memorial for an examination. Armour Correctional Records, provided to the Sun by Debbie Miller show on November 11, Stephanie was given a mental health screening and taken to the hospital due to her condition before she was booked. Based on her extensive medical history, and not having all of her necessary medication, Stephanie's prescriptions were filled at the hospital. She was then admitted into the jail with an antibiotic, blood pressure and heart medications. A Sarasota Memorial doctor's note shows Miller was prescribed doxycycline for the rest of her life. Medical records show while in the Sarasota County Jail, Miller was given all of her medications as prescribed by the doctors at the hospital. Stephanie was also allowed to wear her neck brace and was on her medications in the Sarasota County Jail for the 3 days she was in their care, Miller said. They treated her with dignity because the Armour Correctional Health Services staff followed their policy. Charlotte Co Jail. Stephanie Miller entered the Charlotte County Jail holding area wearing her neck brace. Debbie Miller said everything changed after her daughter was booked at the Charlotte County Jail. Stephanie's medical neck brace was ripped from her neck, Miller said. According to the contract between the Charlotte County Jail and the medical provider Corizon, inmates should receive a comprehensive and medical health evaluation during the intake health screening. Miller contends that never happened in her daughter's case. Instead, jail records show the neck brace was stored as item number 45,289 in the property room. The November 14, 2018 jail booking sheet also shows all of Stephanie Miller's new medications from Sarasota Memorial Hospital including metoprolol, 100 mg, 31 tablets, doxycycline, 100 mg, 30 tablets, hydralazine, 25 mg of 89 tablets, to be taken 3 times each day, were all sent to the property evidence room. According to Stephanie's Sarasota Memorial Hospital medical records, on October 29, she was prescribed metoprolol to treat high blood pressure to prevent a stroke, heart attack, chest pain, angina, and improve survival after a heart attack. She was prescribed metoprolol in combination with the other medications to treat heart failure. It is used to relax blood vessels, slow the heart rate to improve blood flow and decrease blood pressure. Hydralazine was ordered 3 times a day by the Sarasota Memorial doctor to combat chronic congestive heart failure for Miller, who had a pacemaker. On October 29, Miller was ordered to take doxycycline for the rest of her life by her doctor at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, according to Stephanie's discharge records. Doxycycline is an antibiotic used to treat bacterial infections. Stephanie's discharge paperwork states she should call 911 or seek medical attention if she experiences irregular heartbeat, trouble breathing, fever, loss of consciousness, dizziness, weakness, blurred vision, or vomiting. Don't delay. Fast diagnosis and treatment can prevent or limit the amount of heart damage during a heart attack, Stephanie's medical discharge records show. Stephanie's health fades. Without her prescribed medication, Stephanie Miller was nauseous, weak, and dizzy, according to emails she sent her mother Debbie. Stephanie allegedly begged the guards for her medication and repeatedly asked to see a Corizon nurse, according to her jail emails. Miller emailed her mother multiple times a day asking her to call the jail. Additionally, Miller also called Stephanie's public defender, state attorney, the sheriff's office and Judge Burns' office. A few days later, a frustrated Debbie Miller shared her daughter's emails with the Sun. On November 21, the Sun sent emails to Charlotte County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Katie Heck, jail officials, and Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell. The email explained Stephanie allegedly didn't have access to her neck brace or prescriptions. The email stated Stephanie had slipped into a coma twice while in the hospital earlier in the year and her medical records would likely match the claim. She is allegedly being deprived of usage of the neck brace because it's technically considered a weapon. However, she was also sent back into the general population and kicked out of the medical unit, the Sun wrote. She is allegedly being refused access to the paperwork to show the medical staff and her neck brace. Her mother is trying to get in touch with someone who will either call an ambulance and send her back to the hospital or give her the proper medical treatment and attention for her illness while in jail. Sheriff responds. Sheriff Bill Prummell sent an email to the Sun about the contracted medical jail services through Corizon Health. Thank you for reaching out to us. This was addressed and found to be false. Ms. Miller is being properly tended to. Because of HIPAA laws I cannot go into detail. Sheriff William Prummell. According to the CCSO policy, the medical service staff at the jail are all properly licensed and certified. Medication distribution is designated by the medical staff. The policy is in line with Corizon's contract with CCSO, which states, Corizon is an individual contractor and all medical care decisions will be the sole responsibility of Corizon. On November 30, Stephanie pleaded no contest in court on the 2 misdemeanor charges. Burns gave her credit for time served, which was a total of 49 days from the time of her first arrest. The charges were dropped for failure to appear for her 2 missed court dates and she was released from jail. Hospitalized. 7 days later, Stephanie was admitted to Bayfront Medical Center in Port Charlotte. She needed high doses of long-term antibiotics for her endocarditis and sepsis, according to the December 9 medical records. Stephanie died December 10 of multiple organ system failure, endocarditis, sepsis and congestive heart failure following heart valve replacement, her death certificate shows. Manner of death was deemed natural. Corizon spokesperson Eve Hutcherson wrote to the Sun in an email, while federal patient privacy laws prohibit us from discussing details of the care provided to individual patients without prior written permission from them, we are confident that the care provided to this patient was appropriate and timely. Other inmate issues. In April, the Sun asked Prummell about other inmates complaining of poor medical treatment, including a woman with an alleged mental disorder and another with a dislocated shoulder who weren't getting medication or treatment. Prummell wrote to the Sun and copied all Charlotte County commissioners in an email. If an inmate is identified as not receiving the proper care, I will be the first to correct it and take the proper action against the entity or entities not providing those services. The truth is that our inmate population are receiving better care than many of our citizens because the law dictates it. Sheriff William Prummell. Prummell wrote that sometimes during intake, the detainee has a difficult time remembering their specific medications or providers. It often creates a delay in getting the inmate care. However, in Stephanie Miller's case, she had fresh new medications from Sarasota Memorial Hospital, including a daily supply necessary to control heart infection and other related symptoms. Prummell wrote to the Sun, all detention staff receive training on inmate manipulation because many are masters of it to try and get what they want. It appears to me that they are manipulating you and you are falling for it hook, line, and sinker. As I have stated, I have everything to lose and nothing to gain by not providing proper care as outlined in state and federal law. Email, eallen@sun-herald.com